Hi, it's Marisa Murgatroyd, founder of Live Your Message. It's day 17 of the 30-day video challenge. And one of my students asked me, Marisa, what do I do about my physical flaws? Should I play them down or should I just embrace them? And I wanted to talk about this for a moment because everybody on the planet thinks they look bad on camera. Even the supermodels are going to see that picture of themselves and look for their flaws and their defects. And if you look at some of the most famous actors of all time, whether it's Al Pacino or Dustin Hoffman or Sarah Jessica Parker or Julia Roberts even, all of them have features that make them distinct, not necessarily features that make them classically beautiful. So what I recommend is recognizing that a lot of what you consider your flaws are what give you character to other people and also what makes you relatable. If you actually look at the marketing studies, they show that you want to have an attractive woman up in your banner, but not too attractive. Because if the woman is too attractive, people can't relate. So if you think about your defects and recognize that they're actually a bridge for people to connect with you, and they're what make you unique and different and interesting. So I definitely would say embrace what you consider your defects and your flaws as something that makes you look unique in the eyes of your audience. It's part of who you are. You're not going to get rid of them anytime soon, so you might as well accept them. And the other thing that I like to do is really play up your good features. What is the best feature on your face? What do you love about your face? Is it your eyes? Is it your lips? Is there a way to accentuate that? So the same student who asked me about your physical flaws asked me about makeup. What kind of makeup should I be wearing? And what are the most flattering camera angles? So I wanted to address these points too, so you can really feel good and look good on camera and really feel like you're showing your best face while recognizing that it's oftentimes the defects and the flaws that give you personality and character. So when choosing a powder, Janine asked, should I go one shade darker, one shade lighter, use something neutral? And I would just say, just go with what you normally use in everyday life that kind of matches your complexion. If you want to go up to 1 or 2 shades lighter or 1 or 2 shades darker, completely fine, depending on the look that you're going for. I'm a little bit darker than I normally am because I've been out in the sun, and I'm fine with that. You know, I'm not trying to hide that, not trying to look lighter, not trying to look tanner than I am, just saying this is who I am, this is my complexion, and I'm fine with that. Apart from powder and actually making sure you blot out the shine on your face with something I call blotting sheets, where you literally just kind of pat your face with these sheets and it absorbs all of the oil because you don't want to look shiny on camera. But apart from that, use the amount of makeup that feels comfortable to you. Like, I'm kind of a natural woman. I don't like to plaster on the makeup and feel like I'm presenting something completely different that I'm not. But I do accentuate my eyes with some eye makeup, with some eyeliner and some mascara and some eyeshadow. I put on a little bit of lip gloss. I put on a little powder and blush, but that's about it. You know, I don't go to town. I don't try to eliminate all of the scarring on my face or things like that because that's just who I am. And I'm okay with that. And I also just don't have the time to spend 20 or 30 minutes making myself up every single time I get in front of the camera. You know, if I were doing a sales video or a really important video, I might take the time to do that. But for everyday videos like this, I don't want it to look perfect. YouTube has shown time and time again that when you're raw, when the light's not good, when the video quality is not perfect, people respond that much more because they're not paying attention to the perfection, they're paying attention to you. And now I'm not saying you shouldn't try to look really good. You shouldn't try to have that great image quality and that great frame and the right clothes. But I'm saying don't get so obsessed about that you forget what's really important. Your energy, your presence, your performance, how you show up and the words that you have to say. Not every minute detail about your background, okay? Janine also asked me, what's the best camera angle? And I usually recommend that your camera is just slightly below eye level. So it doesn't feel like it's looking down at you or looking up at you, but fairly neutral. And in terms of camera framing, usually people have a side of their face that looks better than the other. For me, it's my left side. I'm a little bit more photogenic on the left side. All of the photographs of me on my website and my profile kind of come from this side than I am on the right side. But I've got an asymmetrical face. That's part of my beauty, part of what people respond to. It doesn't look great on camera, but I just go with it. You know, that's who I am. It's not going to change anytime soon. So if I was scared to get in front of the camera because my eyes are different sizes and my nose is crooked, I would never get in front of the camera. So I just say, okay, that's me. So if I wanted to look slightly, you know, to accentuate my left side, I could do that. If you've got a bigger frame, sometimes going at a slight angle as well can be more complementary than going dead straight on as well. And, you know, you can also go for a closer shot rather than a wide shot if you're overweight and you don't really want to show your stomach, or if you're sitting down and that relaxed posture makes you look bigger than you actually are. So there are a lot of things you can do with framing and with angles to accentuate, your better characteristics, but for the most part, know that you are who you are, and people are going to resonate more with your energy and the spirit that moves through you and the words that you actually say than everything else. Okay? The last part of Janine's question is, what do you wear on camera? Are there certain cuts or styles or fabrics or colors that look best? And absolutely, Janine, there are. So I generally recommend that you try to go for something that's fairly single color. Like, a lot of times patterns can be super distracting, especially if they're very fine patterns, because the camera more rays on them. It gets kind of a weird effect. But patterns can often still look really good. I also recommend that you stay away from black, like what I'm wearing here, because that can cause you to disappear. And also stay away from bright white, because it can be too bright, brighter than your face. And so it's kind of brighter than you, and you want to focus it on you. So neutral colors, as well as jewel tones or earth tones, such as reds and greens and blues, tend to look really, really good. The other thing you want to consider is having separation from your background. If you're filming in front of a blue wall, you don't want to wear a blue shirt because you're going to disappear. And you want to stand out. You want to really showcase yourself. I tend to recommend wearing something of a V-neck or something that's got a little bit of a scoop, because that can also go upwards and frame your face and provide a nice cut. A collar also looks good. Just nothing that's too distracting, because you want the focus on you, not what you're wearing, not your makeup, not your jewelry, not your accessories, but on you. So keep it simple so people are focused on your face, not your clothing, not everything else. And that's what I would go with. Really, this is about you, about your message, and about connecting with the person in front of the camera, behind the camera, on the other side of the world looking at you. So you're beautiful in your way, you're unique in your way, and own that, because you only got one body, right? And I don't recommend everybody go after plastic surgery and nips and tucks and all of that. So just be you. And when you focus on being you and being of service and getting into the flow of your message and being so passionate and enthusiastic and energized by what you have to say, people are going to find you beautiful and compelling. Okay? So go out there and live your message.